Hi all, this is Simona Rich and this is my new article. I'm going to read it out because when I talk I am not able to express myself as well as I do in my articles. So the article is titled Coronavirus Deception Update, and by this title I mean that coronavirus is just a cover-up for the introduction of New World Order. I'm still not convinced that it exists. I'm not saying it doesn't, but I'm not convinced. Like I mentioned in my previous article, I think it's a common flu like some German doctor suggests in the video of that article, and these symptoms are made worse by 5G and medical treatment. Most coronavirus patients don't come out of hospitals in some countries such as Italy. And as you know, the deaths of coronavirus are inflated, as you may know. For example, 88% of Italian cases are now being classified under other causes rather than 5G. Coronavirus 5G connection information is heavily censored. Videos are taken down. I got a false information overlay on an image about it when I posted it on Facebook. Even WhatsApp censors this information. This shows to me that the 5G link is definitely there, and it's crucial for the elite that people don't find it out because they instantly remove any information that connects 5G with coronavirus. However, people are searching and questioning, and I'm happy to see that some people in the UK take matters into their own hands and actually burn 5G towers to protect their and their family's health. Of course, if it's against their consent that these towers are built, they can destroy them against the consent of the government. This kind of proactive move is so wonderful to see when the masses are cowering in their homes. News channels are now airing information about 5G not being harmful, with experts telling that, media experts. What a fast response. They are responding to this link so fast. The elite is trying to cover this up even despite of the fact that over 180 doctors and scientists warn about the dangers of 5G. These professionals appeal to the EU for stopping this unwanted development to receive a response that each country should consider this issue independently. Very convenient. Let's petition this evil agenda. Find one for your area and sign it. This one, the one that I'm linking, is for doctors and scientists. If there isn't one in your area, the petition, you may consider creating it, sharing it with your friends and asking them to share it. Let's be proactive. Let's contribute to the freedom of humanity. My heart goes out to the self-employed people deprived of everything. It's so important for self-employed people to not just think that everything will keep going well, but always save for the rainy day, because we can't fall back on the government. We have to rely on our own resources if something happens. So this is a tough lesson for those who didn't save anything. And governments don't want self-employed people. They don't want people to enjoy, to create, to live according to their own terms. So obviously governments won't help them. Or a London Reel says that now governments may issue some loans to businesses. What will those loans do if businesses are crashed? So then they are not able to repay. So they will be indebted to the government, which is much worse. My advice to those who are self-employed is not to wait for the government to help, but to take matters into your own hands. I believe the purpose of this lockdown is to deprive people of all their funds so that they start relying on the government, which will then dictate them what to do, and that is slavery. So take matters into your own hands. You must get to some land. If you don't have a place in a village, then if you still have assets, maybe you should consider selling them gathering those who would like to live in a village and then buying land collectively. Then you can quickly establish a chicken farm, get some goats, and your food supply is assured. I think it's very unwise to trust that all will be okay when the lockdown in many countries keeps being extended. And if it doesn't last, you have an asset, you're not losing anything. Land, which is one of the best assets that you can have. I personally chose not to go back to my land in Lithuania because I didn't want to give in to the fear-mongering of embassies organizing evacuation flights and charging a fortune for that. I'm not going to allow them to profit from me, even if I'm worse off by doing that. I will stay in Nepal. There are many stranded tourists here, so if the situation gets worse, we will need to unify and brainstorm what to do. I believe that among long-term travelers, I would be able to find more open minds than in my own country where people are very brainwashed. Yet even Nepalis, unfortunately, all religiously follow the advice of the government and consider those not in agreement with the government as personal enemies. So among Nepalis, unfortunately, I haven't yet found any free thinkers. I feel it's the right place for me to stay, however, because I feel at peace when I consider the possibility of staying here for a while. Whilst if I consider taking an evacuation flight to Lithuania, there's tension and uneasiness. So if you really know yourself, you will be able to tune into your being to know exactly what to do, and this is a tool that is extremely important during these times. Especially if you live in the US, it's easy from online sources to find like-minded people. You can unify with them and buy land, then protect it and resist any government interference. Make your cause known far and wide so that you gain supporters. Expand your occupied area if the government keeps choosing to keep people deprived of funds, and take in those who are in distress. Resist the government till the last. We must not allow it to take more and more of our rights away day by day. Like Benjamin Franklin said, those who would give up essential liberty to purchase a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety. I advise to read Bhagavad Gita for inspiration. This is a book that's very useful in these times. We must not allow fear to rule us. Do what's essential to assure the future freedom of the human race. Meditate to detach from your body so that if its well-being is threatened, it doesn't shake you. Eat meat, especially beef, to be physically courageous. Vegan diet makes people weak and passive. It's not the time for passivity. Now, flight ban in Nepal was extended till the end of April. Lockdown is being extended for the third time in this country. It's an obvious attempt to crash the economy. Nepali people are still very connected, and I'm sure they will do fine in these hard times, as many live on their own lands. So what's considered to be a very poor country, actually we will see what will happen. But I feel very bad for Europe and the US, as most people from these areas live in cities, so if their money supply is cut off, how are they going to survive? That's why I encourage people to move to the land as soon as possible, to some farm or to start one, to become self-sufficient instead of relying on the government when then it dictates to you what to do. We can use this difficult time as a way to free ourselves from cities. It's easy to delay the plans to buy land when you have regular paycheck. But now it could be your last chance to do that if the lockdown continues. Yet some people tell me that maybe they will try to take your land too, even if you buy it, so maybe it's not a good decision. Well, then it's up to you. Will you allow this to happen and continue being their slave, or will you resist? Keep in mind, they want to keep you fearful and submissive. God cannot help you if you vibrate fear. This is your property, then protect it. If you don't protect it, these evil people will take it away from you. They also want you separated from others. So keep in a community, as then resistance is stronger and brainstorming together is much more powerful than if you do it on your own. So they want to keep us separated so that we are totally weak. They want to destroy the fabric of community. In Europe, it's already almost destroyed. Will we allow them to continue with that, to totally destroy it? Isn't it surprising that usually countries disagree and fight, yet once this virus started, all countries take a unified action? It just shows that this world is ruled by one elite. Suddenly, all countries are deploying military and police to make sure no one walks the street, and people don't question it. The excuse is, if you walk the streets, you will get a virus and will overburden hospitals. But hospitals are empty and nurses are sent home. It's not for the fear of overburdening hospitals that the police patrols the streets. I was discussing the lying news with a relative over the phone yesterday. She's watching news every day and has no other sources of information. When I gave example by example of the news blatantly lying to people, there was a long pause. I hear some birds chirping there. It must be so nice in Nepal. That was her response. A perfect example of cognitive dissonance. Some people are incapable of entertaining in their minds something opposite to what they believe to be the truth. The amount of fear-mongering going on in the media is staggering. They want people to believe that in the next few months the situation is going to be a lot worse. Are they trying to make people collectively manifest this by making us believe in it? It's so obvious that they are following some sort of agenda. Let's talk about Boris Johnson a little. He's apparently down with the virus. I believe it's all an act, as too many celebrities claim to have it. When I was watching his health update from the hospital, I couldn't miss the fact that his right eye kept morphing. Watch to see this for yourself. There are some other scary eye and teeth morphing videos of his on YouTube. In some videos, his teeth morph into fangs. It's truly disturbing. He's not even human. A species is in charge of us that sees us as enemies, yet the sheep believes the government is giving orders for their own good. These people are so afraid of us. That's why they create around themselves the support structure of military and police whilst brainwashing people through the news, schools, and universities. They are of darkness, we are of light. Their power is fear. If we don't fear, they know that we will destroy their dark empire very fast. Please keep being strong and positive. Educate the masses as much as you can. You will face intense opposition, but some will wake up. We must stay strong and united in these times and resist the government who is taking more and more of our rights away day by day. Keep your immune system strong. Gather the community around you. Petition the 5G towers. If they build them against your consent, you can also destroy them against theirs. It's time to take our rights back. Remember, they fear us. That's why they gather so many resources to fight us. We can only fight them if we don't fear and don't use any darkness, as that's their specialty and they are masters of it. Keep being strong and healthy and keep your mind on the vibration of light, as this will maintain your power. Thank you for watching. Take care.